Hello there and welcome to another Stamping Sunday blog hop. Today we're going to be featuring the Gilding Flakes, so without any further ado I'm going to get on and show you how I'm going to be using them today. There's lots of different methods for getting those flakes onto your projects, and this one I'm going to be using the sticky sheets that are available in the current catalogue. So they're available on page 172 and they're called adhesive sheets, and they are fabulous because they can make any piece of paper or cardstock sticky all the way through. So what you do is you remove the backing paper from the adhesive sheet and then you apply it to a piece of card or paper or whatever you want to use, and then you can cut it with dies, with punches. You can cut it with a pair of scissors, your trimmer, whatever you want, to the shape that you require. So I'm going to be cutting a scallop circle out of my sticky sheet, and then also a butterfly. Now, to be extra super duper frugal, I'm actually going to cut the butterfly out the centre of my scallop circle, because I'm going to be sticking this circle over the top and then a gold butterfly in the middle of that. So I'm just lining it up. I'm going to do it on my table actually, because I'm trying to do it in midair, and of course that's not going to work. So got it lined up, and I've got a piece of washi tape here, and I'm just going to adhere that. Oh, check where it's going. I'm just going to adhere the washi tape to the dies so that they don't move around too much as I'm trying to get it into the machine. So of course we've got the platform, then the cutting plate, and then the plate that goes over the top, and I'm going to create that sandwich to roller through my mini cut and emboss machine, which is refusing to take the excuse me while I just deal with this a second. So it's always a good idea to stagger your plates entering your machine, because there's a smaller surface area to the rollers, and sometimes it just needs that little bit of a stagger to help get it through. There we go, that's perfect. So I'm rolling it backwards and forwards to get it through, and hey presto, we should have our fabulously sticky pieces that we can then use for our gilding flakes. So very carefully take that apart and then take that apart. Now before I use the flakes, I'm actually going to stick that piece of paper down. Now incidentally, this paper is from the mini, is it from the mini catalogue? Bear with me. Just had to double check then. No, they're not from the mini catalogue. They're a free set of papers that you can earn when you spend £45 on any current Stampin' Up product. You can earn the papers for absolutely free. And they're a lovely floral set, quite a bold kind of combination of colours, but really, really striking. Right, so what I'm going to do then is remove the backing paper now from that scallop circle. And I've already cut out this, let me just check the size of it, 2¼ inch circle, and I'm going to place that in the middle right there, and then that is what I'm going to adhere my gilding flakes to. And that lovely butterfly that I cut out as well, I'm going to be gilding that too. So I've got my gilding flakes in this box. I put the jar in there as well. It just means that I don't get to lose it. And so if I ever do need a few extra, all I've got to do is pop open my jar and throw a few more flakes into there, because they are pretty floaty. So I'm just going to dip the ends, or the edges as it were, of my scallop circle in there, and then with my fingers just kind of like push the gilding flakes into the sticky portions, or maybe just sort of tap it down again just to make sure it's all covered. And you can remove an awful lot with your fingers. You don't necessarily have to get a brush at this point. So as you can see, very easily I've applied the gold to that scallop circle. So now I'm just giving it an extra bit of a rub, and then I'm going to reach for a brush to get a few more of these flakes off and to kind of push it in a bit more. So here I am just brushing quite firmly to make sure that I get rid of any excess bits of gold that is not adhered or is just attached to another piece that is stuck down, because as you can see they're quite large flakes, so you do need to break those off. Okay, so there we go. There's my gorgeous scallop circle, which I'm going to be placing against that gorgeous floral there. So let's gild this butterfly. So again, just peel off the backing paper. Now I'm currently moving house, so all my nails seem to have broken because I'm using my hands and lifting and packing and so on at the moment. So excuse my really bad fingernails and also my quite dry skin because I've been painting a house today and yesterday. So but we're getting there. Right, so again with my fingers, just get rid of all that extra gold, and then with the brush just really pushing down and burnishing these beautiful flakes onto there. Just going around the edges with my nail to make sure that all the pieces are off. Right. Look at that, how beautiful. I'm going to have a lovely butterfly in the middle of that. Then the other thing I wanted to do was just to show you very simply how you can use either the sticky backing, or you can use double-sided tape. So I'm going to make two very simple cards. I've just cut myself a piece of paper to fit a kind of pretty normal card base, so it's 10 centimeters wide by just under about 14 or 15 centimeters long, and then I've cut those pieces apart. Actually, I think that was there or there, and what I'm going to do is swap those over like that and then put a gold band in between there. And what I'm going to do is use some tear and tape to do that. So I'm going to go and stick that all together and then come back to you and show you what that looks like. So here I have one of those card bases. I've already stuck down my designer series paper, the free designer series paper from Celebration, and I've also put the tear and tape across where the join is. And I'm just going to pop that into my box of Golden Delight and just picking up the flakes and applying it on and giving it a good push down, making sure that lots and lots have gone on there. Then I'm going to get my brush again, and you can actually lift up some of those flakes with the brush and then give it a kind of a bit of a firm brushing to make sure any of those excess flakes come off. And then we've got this really simple gold band across the card, which just looks so luxurious and pretty. There we have it. And I have also cut out a couple of daisies from the small daisy punch, and I'm just going to very simply embellish these two cards. Here's the one that I did earlier, and pop this gold centre on there. Now I cut that gold centre from that piece of cardstock that had that sticky backing already on it, and this is from the Perennial Petals dies, and it's this kind of funny little doodaddy thing here that looks like, if you're a fan of Studio Ghibli films, it looks like a soot sprite. Some of you will know what that is, or I don't know, it looks like the you know what virus, but anyway, we're not going to mention that too often. So very, very simply, to finish this card off, all we need to do is adhere these lovely daisy, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue over where that gold is, because I've got a feeling it's perhaps not going to stick as well, so it's okay for it to go over a bit. And then the petals of this one I want to lift very slightly and just put a little blob of glue there. So this is a fairly flat card. You shouldn't have to pay extra postage on this type of card. I'm not using any dimensionals because I feel there's lots of texture already going on. It doesn't necessarily need much more layering because we've got this lovely kind of gold feature at the centre of that daisy, which just makes it look really interesting. Okay, so 2 very, very simple cards before I go back to working on the one that I started earlier. So again, a bit of a stick down there, a little blob of glue, add the white daisies. Now if you don't have this daisy punch and you're a bit of a flower fan, I'd say why even you not got it? Because it is so simple to create that embellishment by cutting out some cardstock, and that's in just a plain white card, and it just finishes off those cards really easily. Of course you could put a couple of sentiments on there. I'm not going to do that today because I don't know who I'm going to be sending these to just yet, but there we have it, those 2 simple ones done. Right, back to this one. So we've got our gorgeous scallop gold piece here with the paper on it. I'm just going to get rid of that extra bit of gold, don't need that there, and stick that down right in the middle of my square, and I get my beautiful burnished butterfly, and I'm just going to put glue in the centre there to attach that. And I deliberately chose this butterfly, and it's from the die set that matches the floating and fluttering set, but it's called the Fluttering Dies. And the reason I chose this butterfly in particular was because it fitted so well within that circle. I didn't want the gold butterfly to actually reach this gold frame because I felt it wouldn't stand up so well. Right, I'm just going to grab a piece of cardstock and finish this card and then come back to you. So thank you for joining me today for the Stamping Sunday blog hop. Please remember to look and click on the blog link below because that will take you to my blog post where I've got photos of these cards, and you'll be able to go and hop along and see the other beautiful projects made by the team and what they've done with the gold gilding flakes. Now I know this is probably quite a couple of simple cards compared to the sort of things I normally do, but I think it just goes to show that you don't actually have to spend an awful lot of time making a card to make something really beautiful, especially when we have these beautiful designer series papers. So just in recap, we use the scallop circle from the Layering Circles framelets. I use the butterfly from the the Fluttering dies. But you could use whatever dies you have, whatever butterfly or whatever embellishment you want to pop in the middle there. And then we use the little doodad thing, I call it a doodad, from Perennial Petals. And most importantly, we use the gold gilding flakes. So if you haven't had a chance to play with them yet, or you haven't got them, please do remember you can purchase through my shop and the link is below, and remember to use the host code. If you aren't able to sort of find it easily, please just email me, ruthtrice@gmail.com. Again, the information should be in a link below. Right, take care and happy hopping everybody. Have a great day. Bye.